Well, hello everyone and welcome back into Mid Norfolk Garden here, taking the opportunity of a bit of bright, sunny, not too cold weather. It's really frosty last night, but it's warmed up a little bit with the sunshine we've had here. We're going to get out and start clearing these borders. This long border with the wooden rose supports hasn't had any work done on it since last autumn, and the big trees above it, it's an oak and a beech, have dropped their leaves, which have been sitting here all winter. We're starting to see a little bit of life trying to emerge through it, but we know this border's absolutely full of spring bulbs, and if we were to leave this covering unattended, then it's going to suppress the growth of those bulbs, hold them back, and they're not going to flower nearly as well. We've started on this little area just through the walkway, clearing the surface, and just see what you find. Emerging shoots, lime green from their cover. As soon as we get some light on these, they're going to start filling up with chlorophyll and powering those bulbs up to flower. But also we've got an absolute mass in here of young primrose, both seedlings and established clumps, which are really just starting to grow away in January. And again, by uncovering these and letting the light get to them, you're really going to power them up and increase the amount of flower that you're going to get later in the season. So this is what we're aiming for. Not a completely pristine border, but the majority of the leaf covering off and into a compost heap, and exposed all the young little plants that we want to keep. We're weeding as we go along, removing as much grass and nettle. Also want to get into this border and cut a lot of this ivy back in the corner. Got some fantastic, excuse the mess, the old sun lounges, and my very heavy old mid-20th century garden hose, which I'm loath to get rid of despite all the patches. But just look under here, this is a mass of snowdrops. We clear it each year, and every year the ivy on the fence behind grows forward and falls down over it. So clearing some light for this will really improve the snowdrops in the next week or so. Already see they're just starting to put some colour into the bulb. These flowers really rearing to go, starting to emerge from the leaf cases. So it's not going to be too long before we've got the full snowdrop effect here. And if I can clear all this out, it'll be far better for it. So we're going to do a little bit of work and we'll show you our progress as we go along. Well, I've made quite a good start on this. It's a harder job than it initially looked. This ivy is really rooted in where it's been running from the base of this fence forward. Really got to try and keep it off these trees as well, because once it gets going, as it has in this big oak, then it can form a massive heavy canopy which acts as a sail and really stresses the tree it's on. That's a 150-year-old oak, so it's not going to do it any harm quickly, but we are thinking of taking through the stems on the ivy, which will mean we've got dry brown ivy in the tree for about 10 years as it detaches itself. In this border though, I've managed to lift most of it. Haven't had to move the hose pipe, which I'm going to leave in place. The reason being, if I move that and then put it back on, I'm going to do more damage to these snowdrops than I'm going to help them with. But I've uncovered quite a few, and I should get the light to them as we suggested. The amount of ivy that's come out of that small area is astounding though. One good thing about ivy, sheep love it. Doesn't seem to do them any harm. And a quick way of composting this is to pop it in with some of the yews in the field just next to my compost heaps, which I might do before putting the rest onto the compost or burning it. It does take a long time to go, and you do risk rooting it in if you just put it into a normal compost heap. It's so vigorous. Lots more work here, probably a good few afternoons to be fair, but that's the thing about a garden this size. If you try and do it all in one go, you're going to kill yourself. So break it into sections, but whatever you do, do make a start. Get going, do a little bit each day when the weather's up for it. You'll be better for it, and the garden will be better for it. I'm going to see if I can finish this little section, just moving these sun lounges out of the way and putting them in the shed where they should have gone last October. That's why they're so rusty. There you go, only human. Thanks for watching. I'll let you know how I get on.